Pokemon Legends EA finally brings back my favorite thing to come out of Legends Arceus, and that is Alpha Pokemon. In a previous video, I've already covered the best way to catch a Pokemon in this game, including the pretty difficult to catch Alphas, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can make these Alphas spawn. Now, very early on in the game, you get introduced to these Wild Zones, which is pretty much a fenced-off area that has a bunch of different Pokemon inside of it. Over here, Wild Zone 3, for example, has a Skiddo, Pancham, Litleo, Esper, Flabébé, and a Pikachu, and all 6 of these Pokemon can spawn as an alpha, but there's only one of them that will actually spawn as one if you first enter this location, and that is this Litleo over here. Now, if you wanted these other Pokemon to be able to spawn as alphas like this random Skiddo over here, who should be located to the left as soon as I enter this area. Yeah, you can't hurt me, buddy. I'm safe here. I can make that guy despawn if I just fly to this area one more time. If we now go back, we see that the Skiddo is no longer an alpha, but we did get another one over here spawn, this Flabébé, and of course the Litleo here is always going to be one until you catch it or defeat it, and then it'll take like a couple minutes for it to respawn. But my friend Litleo over there is the only one that spawns here as an alpha when you first enter Wild Zone 3. If you want these other Pokemon to show up as their bigger versions, you will first have to 100% the Wild Zone. It is impossible to get an Alpha Esper spawn here, for example, if you have not caught every single Pokemon here. And for some of the Wild Zones like this one, actually, it is very easy to catch every single Pokemon. But for others like the Wild Zone 4, for example, that Honedge that you see there, the little dude with the sword, actually it's just a little dude who is a sword, he is a pretty rare spawn, making it not the easiest zone to get 100%. And back when I first started playing, I remember going to this area over and over again trying to get an Alpha Ghastly to spawn, and it just didn't happen. That's because I did not catch the Honedge yet, so it was just impossible for any Alpha to spawn here except for the ones that always do, which in this case should be an Alpha Spinarak right on that building. He is always going to be here. So that's pretty much the only thing you have to do. Just get 100% in the Wild Zones, and that is gonna make any Pokemon here able to spawn as an alpha. So right now, none of the Ghastlys here are big boys. The only thing that I'm going to do is leave the zone. You don't even need to do that if you're able to fly away. Just open the menu, fly, travel back to the zone, and you just need to do that a couple of times until one of them does decide to spawn as a big one. Oh, look at that. Okay, we got ourselves an Alpha Ghastly. I think that only took maybe like 4 to 5 reloads. Very easy to do. And of course, I could just throw a Pokeball at it, or I could try to kill it first, or sorry, knock it out. Oh my god, it almost knocked me out. This thing is kind of scary. And then I can just use the strategy we talked about in the previous video, where you just save the game, and then you can just try chucking balls at it. If you fail it, go to the home menu, reload your game, and do that as many times until you actually catch the Pokemon. So that is specifically how you make the alphas spawn inside of the Wild Zones, but there are of course a lot of Pokemon that spawn outside of the Wild Zones as well, like this little Kakuna and the Weedle over there. Now, I was under the impression that it was possible to get these to spawn as alphas, but I've tried warping to this area and checking up on those guys, I think maybe around 50 times already, and I have never gotten these to show up as alphas. So I don't know if it is even possible to do so. I know that they can appear as a shiny, so they should normally be able to spawn as alphas as well, but I just am or really unlucky, or there's something that I'm missing that I still need to do to be able to spawn these Pokemon outside of Wild Zones as alpha Pokemon. There's like a bunch of Pokemon on top of the rooftops as well, for example. Like there's a ton of Pokemon outside of Wild Zones, but I can't seem to find information online anywhere, at least not anything that I can trust, and I haven't been able to confirm for myself that it's actually possible to spawn these guys as alphas. So if this video somehow gets any traction, it would be lovely to see someone in the comments that actually knows what to do. Post their findings down below, because I'm actually at a loss here. I have no idea if it is even possible to get these guys to spawn as alpha Pokemon. But yeah, just know there are a lot of mons that you can spawn outside of, hey, I'm talking here, a lot of Pokemon that can spawn outside of the Wild Zones as well. So please let me know if you have gotten any of them as alphas. I think there are, just like inside of the Wild Zones here, a couple of guaranteed ones that always spawn though. So if you really wanted to help out, I recommend just doing what I did here and reset by flying to the Wild Zone 4. Try to get either the Kakuna or the Weedle spawn as an alpha, because I swear on my life I have done this like 50 times now and I have not been successful. So maybe there's some type of side quest preventing me of spawning these dudes specifically as alpha Pokemon. No clue as to what's going on there. But yeah, the most important thing that you want to know anyways is how to get the Pokemon inside of the Wild Zones to spawn as alphas, of course. So just keep in mind, you have to catch every single Pokemon inside of these zones if you want any of them to randomly show up as an alpha. So with that, even though I wasn't able to provide information on how to spawn Pokemon outside of Wild Zones as alphas, I still hope this was of some use to you. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more stuff just like this, definitely don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. almost 20% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so thank you so much to everyone who did so already. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, later. Bye.